are feeling so excited as I do because we're gonna learn something new from a topic that I believe is gonna be the next big thing in the future because this is new techniques of marketing that I believe will be valuable if you have it as a marketer. And in today's sessions, we will talk about geomarketing, the growth hacking with location data. With our expert, where you guys will directly learn from him, is Logan Sivanasan. He is a senior consultant, director of growth and marketing at Right Click Solutions in Malaysia. So by joining today's class, we expect you guys to understand what and why using geomarketing and why geomarketing is a promising marketing tactic for the future, the formula of geomarketing, and also we'll be also discussing about geomarketing example business case that will take the driver's seat in the future. So yeah, I would like to give my warmest welcome to our today's expert. So yeah, hello Logan.
Hi, hi. Good luck. Hi, everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can I get started?
Okay. So yeah. How do you? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, I believe that I have a little bit internet connections problem there. So yeah, Logan, how are you feel about today's class? Do you feel excited to meet our participants
Yeah,
today and share your experience with them?
very, very much. This is probably the first time I'm actually meeting folks from Jakarta after a few years being in
Yeah.
the industry. Yeah, so I'm quite excited about it.
Okay. So previously you have this class or maybe meeting someone from Indonesia.
Well, the company that I worked for before had an office in Jakarta.
Okay.
We had quite a big team in Bandung and Jakarta before.
All right.
Yeah,
In
so
Bandung and Jakarta, right?
correct. So they were under my purview. So I used to
All
travel
right.
to Jakarta. Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever? So I guess that you have been ever. You have you have went to Indonesia right before to
Yeah.
Jakarta to
Yeah.
visit Indonesia. Right.
I
Um.
love Bandung. Though. It's really awesome.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Bandung is really beautiful. You know, it's actually a short getaway for Jakarta people when it's on a holiday or
Oh,
something. Yeah,
it's
it's
domestic
Bandung,
holiday.
right? Okay, so yeah, before we start the class, guys, I would like to also thank you for Logan for joining us for today's class, and also thank you for all of you for participating on today's class. I know it's an effort to have a class or to learn during this weekend. Maybe some of you would maybe the others still laying on their bed because this is a weekend. So yeah, thank you for your times and for your joining our today's class. And just a quick informations. For today's class, we have several rules where you guys can. It's actually pretty simple to follow up on today's sessions. We have two basic rules, which the first is if you have any questions, you guys can write it down on the Q&A box, or you may use the raise hand feature to talk directly with our expert. So the questions will be answered by the expert on live discussion session. And feel free, guys, if during the class you find troubles or you find it hard to follow up the sessions because of our internet connections, maybe, or maybe yeah, if there's any trouble, just mention us on the chat box so we can know and do something about it. And just want to remind you, so after this class ends, you will get directed to the Google feedback form. Kindly filling on the feedback form so we can understand what we need to improve next on the feedback form. So ensure that you guys are filling on the feedback form to get the speaker's text from today's class. And before we start the class, I would like to share to you, I would like to give you an introduction to Glints and also Glints expert class. Maybe this is your first time on joining Glints expert class. Maybe this is the first time you've ever heard about Glints. So yeah, I will give it a little bit information about what Glints is to you guys.
Welcome to Glints Expert Class, a program by Glints to facilitate young professionals on learning various skills directly from experts. There will be 2 segments in this session, starting from a presentation by the expert, continued by live discussion session. If you have any questions, please raise hands or submit your question in the Q&A box below. You can get the expert's presentation material once you've submitted the quick survey which will appear when you leave this webinar room. Your inputs will help us to always deliver the best. All right, the expert is ready for you. Happy learning!
Still with myself. So yeah, that's a little bit information for you guys regarding what Glints is and also what Glints Expert Class is. So if you guys still curious about our product, about Glints, you guys can directly go to glints.com, our website, and there are several informations about our product. Plus, if you want to find another series of Glints Expert Class, you guys can go directly to our website. So yeah, I think that's all from me. So without further ado, I will hand over my stage to Logan. So yeah, Logan, the stage is yours.
Hi, okay. Good morning, everyone. Right, I'm going to get started with this. Right, let me share my screen. Okay. Is the visibility okay, Odila?
Yeah, it's okay. It's great.
Okay. I don't get to see the participants though.
Yeah, because basically we are using the Glints webinar series. So yeah, we cannot see their face.
Exactly. So no worries. Okay. So just to get started, today's session is about geomarketing, which is construed as the new growth hacking with location data. So I'm not sure how well versed you guys are with geomarketing or location data for that matter. But anyway, this session is much more towards the basics of what it is, an introduction of how to use it and what is it all about. Okay. So, all right, a little bit about myself. I'm from the industry per se. I'm from technology-based or data-driven marketing in the sense. I've been doing this for more than 10 years now, covering technology, retail, e-commerce, hospitality, pretty much everything that relates or requires marketing for that matter. Specializing very much in data-driven or growth hacking. So point-to-point solutions is what you can see, covering all major aspects from, say, branding, digital ad tech, programmatic ads, location-based solutions, websites, apps, consumer insights, and so on. So whatever related to marketing that requires data or data driven by technology is what I'm doing or used to do or still doing, per se. Based in Kuala Lumpur for the past 15 years. Okay. So, all right, so what is geomarketing? Geomarketing is a discipline that uses geolocation, or in other words, geographic information, or location intelligence in the process of planning and implementation of marketing activities. So basically, it's more physical world related that connects digitally to you, whether your website or your apps. So it's the best of both worlds. Okay. It can be used for anything that regards to marketing, be it for product marketing or price or promotion or places. Very much in the sense that, let's say, you need to target a particular user or a customer. But instead of just spraying and praying to everyone, you micro-target it, which means you save so much money on your marketing spend because you know exactly who to target and the take-up rate will be much higher. That's the whole idea of geomarketing. Okay. For example, it's used by the financial sector to identify their ATM traffic generators. So they basically knows who uses or how many people uses their ATMs, which particular ATM on daily basis, and what is the flow in traffic and whatnot. Okay, just an example to show you. Okay. So what is geomarketing in other sense is that geomarketing has a direct impact on development of modern trade and reorganization of retail types. Site selection becomes automated and based on scientific procedures that saves both time and money. GPS tracking, GSM localized, can be used to obtain the actual position of a traveling customer. So basically, you know where your customers are. You've already identified who they are and you know where they are moving or how they're moving and whatnot. I'll go further into that later, but this is just to give you a best idea. So in conclusion, geomarketing is the catalyst in realizing who your current and potential customers are, enabling to micro-target for higher yield and expedited ROI. So better results, faster results within your spend. Pretty much what it is, okay? Now, why geomarketing? So geomarketing enables a marketer to hack the marketing process by fully realizing ideal customer profile and micro-targeting them. Ideal customer profile here, which means that who best fits to what you are offering. So let's say you are a retail store that specializes in hipster wear, for instance. So this young and millennial look and whatnot. So you need to sell these products to somebody who are actually looking for these products. So these would be your ideal customer profiles. So once you realize who they are, and then you target them, really, rather than sending invites or ads to me, which I'm not going to buy that product because it doesn't relate to me. So that's the whole idea when we come to ideal customer profiles. Now, this solves the pain points faced currently, and these are the stats that supports that. So we can see 91% of businesses have no basic analytics. They're just playing a guessing game in a sense. 78% have basic reporting via the POS system, the point of sale system. So whatever transaction from the point of sales is the only data they have. They don't actually know who you are unless you're using your credit cards, in other words. Less than 5% have basic analytics. 11% have investigative analytics. Investigative analytics here is basic research. So they like what I say, like POS system, or let's say you write a comment slip in a restaurant. So that's pretty much all the data that they have. So 11% actually have this. And 5% have predictive analysis. It's a guessing game. They don't really know. Okay. Now, yields of geomarketing enables a comprehensive marketing tool to run personalized mobile campaigns, reward loyalty points, offer vouchers, and most importantly, to know your customers. So you know who they are, you know where they're at, and you offer whatever offer you have to them directly in real time. Okay. So it covers analytics. Optimization is the key. So real-time analytics enables just that. You have data on a real-time basis. Customer insight, understand your customer demographics, interests, and retail behavior. Campaign management, target consumers using precise location and content to drive in-store sales. Customize offers, engage and retain them with targeted promotes and offers in real-time location. I'll give you a good example. Let's say user A. Now, user A, I know user A likes a particular brand of watch, right? And he tends to collect, or he or she tends to collect and buy on a monthly basis, for instance. Now, I know the movement of this particular user based on historical data. When he visits shopping malls, how often, what's the transaction like and whatnot. That data has already been collected. So now he goes to a mall today, a particular brand store, I mean, a watch store is offering a promo that relates to him. He walks into the mall and he gets an in-app push on his phone that states that this particular brand of watch is doing this offer and the shop is just upstairs. Sorry, for instance. So that enables a very high yield. So the possibility of that person actually walking into that store and buying that watch is extremely high because it relates to him. He's physically already nearby to the location where the offer is being offered. That's the whole idea of geomarketing. I hope I'm not going too fast, right? Anyway. Next up, benefits of geomarketing. Now, geomarketing enables a holistic advantage towards your customer against your competitors. The data provides exhaustive opportunities to reach, engage, acquire, and retain customers. It's a very high-end view to marketing per se. It covers pretty much everything. For instance, location-based campaigns. So you can target your customers or consumers using precise location tag to drive in-store sales. You target people who are already physically nearby to your stores. Okay. Offline to online retargeting. You can reach your customers online after they have visited your online store. So some people just walk into window shop. So they walk into your store, they look, see, they ask a few questions and they walk out without making a purchase. What you know here is that this customer already has intent to purchase. So now you already know they have intent and you know who they are. So once they leave your store, the next campaign that you're going to do or the next ad you're going to do, you can target them and the probability of them making a purchase is higher. Next one is offline attribution. Attribution means reporting, information that you gather after doing a campaign. Now track how your customers behave online after viewing your online campaigns. So now you push an ad to them, you give them a direct link, they go to your website, to a specific page, you see what is the activity, what they do. They go through the product, they read about the product, they put it in the cart, then they leave. Okay, that's one behavior. They just go through and they leave, that's another behavior. They look at the price and then they leave, that's another behavior. So you basically know how they behave after they receive the ad or offer, okay? Next one is 360 consumer insights. Now you get to understand your customers' demographics, interests, and retail behavior. Demographics is who they are, what they do, where they're at, what they use, what they've bought before, how often they buy, all this information. All right. Moving on. Elements. Geomarketing encompasses a number of elements, such as resource channels, profiling, movement tracking, geomapping, location intelligence, physical world cookies, curated audience, attribution parameters, and more. So these are the elements that completes a geomarketing idea or tool in the sense. So these are the elements that is required and can be obtained through geomarketing. I'll explain more further later, no worries. Just to give a brief idea, right? So this is an example of resource channels. So you can see here you have resources. How do this data is being disseminated? You got the cell tower that helps your network to your phone. You have the GPS for more data. You have the Wi-Fi and the beacon. So these are 4 good resource channels when it comes to geomarketing. This is the interesting part. This is profiling. So this would be a complete profile of a user. You start with demographics, sex, age, income range, okay? Then you have the type of brands that this person likes based on whatever he or she has visited, has checked online, who searched, make purchase, or have intent of purchase. So you know these are the brands that this person likes. Then locality or locations, where they're at, where they're normally seen would be locations. Behavior, again, from their own behavior online or offline. So, you know, so this person, you know, she is a pet lover. She likes to travel. She loves sushi. Devices, you know what the devices that this person uses. So it's iPhone 7, iPad Pro, iPad Pro, for example. And interest varies a lot. So interest tends to change every 6 months based on age group. So this particular age group, the interest won't change so much. Give it 1 to 2 years, then it'll change a little bit. So the younger you are, the more tendency of this interest to change. And as you become more older, you kind of stick to what you like. That's the whole historical data ideology of profiling. So these are the elements that is required to fulfill or complete a user profile. Okay, moving on. Movement tracking. So once you've identified the user, so these are the parts, the other data sources that is required. So this particular user, you know where she works, you know where she goes to the gym, where she likes to eat, where she lives, okay, based on her movement from the mobile. So this is from her journey on a daily basis. So the tracking needs to be done. The cookies needs to be dropped for at least a month or 2 months or 3 months for you to say, okay, this is the actual positioning of how this person moves. Okay. Geomapping. So what geomapping is basically you map out buildings that has enough importance to contribute to your required data. So for instance, malls, retail commercial areas, residential buildings, office areas, airport, financial institutions like banks and whatnot, automotive showrooms, car showrooms, car dealerships, tourist attraction, educational institutions, college, schools, and whatnot, public areas, which is like parks and whatnot. So these are the places that normally is geo-mapped because it's high traffic area, high interest areas. Okay, so when a person that you have already have an ID for walks into this particular building, you know that person has walked in because it has been mapped. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Physical world cookies. I mean, obviously you guys understand what is cookies. So how online and physical world cookies works is this. Online world, user visits a website, cookie is dropped on the browser for you to analyze and retarget later. Physical world, the SDK detects presence. Okay, your software development kit is called an SDK. It detects presence using beacons and store the micro location data that essentially is cookie for the physical world. This can be used to segment consumers in more accurate manner. Which means in the physical world, when you move with your phone, cookies are also dropped to you through your app based on your location data. It's like how Waze knows where you're at because based on your movement, right? And other similar apps. Curated audience. So after you've already collected all this data that you have, then you can curate your audience based on these verticals. So you have professionals, you have travelers, you have shoppers, you have students and parents. Professionals would be seen in an office complex for work for hours, 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day in the last 30 days. That's enough historical data for you to conclude it's a professional. Okay, one segment of it. A traveler would be someone who visits the airport twice in the last 30 days for work, active in another city during work week. So they travel because during a work week, you can see this person is like spends a day or two in Jakarta, spends another day in Singapore, comes back to Malaysia for 3 days. So they are frequent travelers for work. Okay. A shopper is someone who would probably be seen in shopping malls, retail chains, departmental store, convenience stores, shopping district, at least once in 30 days. So you curate maybe up to 3 months or 6 months, they're a shopper. The frequency, they buy online and they buy offline as well. A student seen in college institution, X number of days in a month. So, most probably based on the age and locality, is a student. A parent, people frequenting educational institutions. So they go every day to pick up or to send the child, seen in parks, community centers, toy stores. So these are young parents we're talking about, right? Who are normally a very good target for certain verticals of products. Okay. Next is attribution parameters. Means your acquisition of data. So these actions drops data to you. So for instance, when user sees an ad, clicks on an ad through your app or website, okay, that's one data source, right? User clicks and engages with it, one data source. User walks into a physical store, your location data is recorded. Okay. User purchases a product from a store, physically recorded. User snaps and upload. This is more on loyalty platforms. So normally they have you snap or you stamp a purchase, recorded. Transaction data, purchase, credit card data, your cash transaction data is recorded. So all this is added into audience segments. And then the reporting is complete. So these are the parameters which contributes to your data acquisition. In other words, your customer lifecycle, customer journey. Right? So to break it down, so you have impressions, interactions, as you know, with a piece of content or an audience member. They view an ad that refers to a point in which an ad is viewed once at least by a visitor. Click engagements, as you know, measure based on number of clicks, type of media, which one they click, how many times they click, how many times they viewed, right? Visits, which location saw higher spike in traffic. So once they've seen an ad, okay, this offer is going on this particular store. So you see based on the number of visits, you can gauge the intent, you can gauge the probability of making a purchase. And then, of course, the sale, the average cost per incremental sales calculated. So normal day, offer day, you can see the variance, right, in increment. Okay. Now, this is the ecosystem. So this basically tells you how it works. So you have data collection, like what I explained earlier, retail consumption, app publisher data, CRM data, third-party data providers. So all this is collected. Then put into a data cloud, retail and location intelligence to break it down. And then from there, you segment your audience, shopper, retailer, whatever, you segment them out. And then this data is then used by either retailers, used by brands, or advertisers. This is the ecosystem of location intelligence, in other words, right? Sorry. Okay, so this is a sample case study, something that I've done earlier, a project or a campaign that I've done earlier. So this one I did for a hipster cafe, coffee joint, a new one. Now they have, I think, at least about 15 outlets in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so when they got started, they wanted to penetrate into the hipster cafe mode or culture, right? But they found that it's extremely difficult because the competition was rife. Everybody was trying to open a coffee shop, in other words, to be cool and you can price your coffee maybe Malaysian ringgit, 15 ringgit or 10 ringgit. So the returns were supposedly very good. But the problem was that everybody was doing it. So how do you stand out? You need to offer something better than your competitors. But even before offering, you need to acquire customers. So we did this campaign whereby we wanted to reach potential or targeted customers. The campaign was a location-based campaign with redeemable discount vouchers via mobile app advertising channels for 75 days. So we used a universal loyalty platform to do this. The objective was to boost footfall, people to walk in and make sales, customer acquisition and retention. So it's the complete thing. The ROI for this campaign was successfully achieved on the 11th day itself. Why or how is because we targeted people who we know likes to frequent places like this. So we know whether they go to another hipster cafe or they frequent Starbucks or they make a purchase that relates to coffee or they like, I don't know, cakes at places like this and whatnot. They frequent places like this. They hang out in places like this. They spend at least an hour in a place like this. So you know this is what they like by behavior. This is the age group. And they have friends who does the same thing. So they move in groups. So this is perfect for this particular business. They are the ideal customer profile. And we targeted them. Just gave them a 5 ringgit voucher to be redeemed at store. And this was the result. You can see voucher value is 5 ringgit. Redeemable vouchers within that 11 days period would be 284, which is fantastic. And this was the total sales. Now I'm giving you the total sales only for the 11th day. So you have a better idea in what's going on. This was way higher than what they had in mind. They only wanted like 1,000 ringgit because they wanted to acquire people. But it was triple and quadruple because the targeting was right. Okay. Next project was, we did this for a retail sportswear store. They have about 20 odd stores now in mostly in major shopping malls. So now they were kind of new. not very new, they were kind of new. They've been around, but they wanted to get into this younger market per se. So these were the pain points for this particular brand. So the challenging market to, sorry for the typo, to penetrate Southeast Asian market. Were having a hard time penetrating the market and increasingly taxing to acquire and retain customers. It was becoming more expensive and difficult to acquire, much more retain, right? The fluency in new media and marketing channel. They were very traditional, basic newspaper ads, magazine ads, billboards, kind of thing, without any attribution to measure their campaigns. So then they wanted to target millennials who are well-read and informed. So this is the new millennials, English educated, well-read, politically correct, politically active in the sense. So they wanted to target this particular target market. The campaign was a location-based campaign with redeemable in-app e-vouchers for 3 months. Mobile-based, 3 months duration, e-vouchers. Pretty much was it. The goal was to, again, boost footfall and sales and customer acquisition and retention. The campaign goal was achieved successfully in the second week of commencement. So towards the end of the second week, we've already achieved the goal. And you can see the results. The voucher value was 25 ringgit, redeemed 182, total sales 87,000. Fantastic. We targeted those who fit perfectly to the profile of their intended customer. Pretty much, okay? And then the last case study here, this one was a shoe brand, local shoe brand. Again, their pain points were tough retail environment, stiff competition. They were not a known brand then, pretty new. They were having a lot of difficulties acquiring or retaining. When people come, they make a purchase, they never come back. There's no history of them coming back. There's no retention. There's no continuity. And they were also not fluent in the new media or marketing channels. They're very traditional. They were very traditional. And reaching the relevant and potential customers for targeted campaigns. So we ran a location-based campaign again with them. Redeemable discount vouchers by mobile app. Same, in-app, mobile app. Redeem at store. The brand experienced a significant increase in footfall and sales with high organic customer loyalty growth. They are very big now, and this campaign and subsequent campaigns was the catalyst for it, as you can see here from the results. 50 ringgit vouchers, 720 redeemed. Total sales was 276,000. Within that period of time is fantastic. It's like 30 odd X from what they used to do. Okay. Methodology. How do you use this? So geomarketing is a marketing strategy that encompasses various types of location-based marketing tactics. Thus, it's not entirely a tool per se, it's more of a methodology. Okay, so it's not like you download a software and you can start using geomarketing or location intelligence. It's a combination of multiple things. Okay, so you either have an app, you either have a website that caters to this, but you also need the technology. So you either work with a location intelligence company to have the best results. Now let me explain the following geomarketing elements that's required. One is geomapping. So it's mobile-based real-time targeting via GPS location. That's what I've explained earlier. You map buildings. It's mapped out. So when a person enters that building, boom, so you can track from there. So geo-targeting is web-based proximity. They go online, IP address, you know where they are, right? So this is how most brands or companies track the locality, right, of their users or customers, where they're at, where they're from. Okay? Geo-conquesting, this is very interesting. This is mobile-based real-time targeting by GPS. This actually means you map your competitor's location. So let's say you are doing coffee, hipster cafe, selling coffee and whatnot. So you map out maybe all the Starbucks and coffee beans within that area. So whenever somebody who are your potential customer are within the vicinity of a competitor, you push your ad or promo to them to divert them to your store. That's pretty much what is geo-conquesting is all about. Then There's Beacon. Beacon is a device. It's a very small device, which is put on your physical store or location. It tracks your customers who have your app when they are within the vicinity of your store via Bluetooth. So these are the 4 elements. Okay. Best practices. First, foremost, very important, know who your audience are. It is cardinal. I can't stress this even more. It's cardinal to realize who your customers are. Firstly, you realize who your ideal customer profile is by building your buyer persona. That's what I explained earlier. You build, this is your product. Who best fits for your product, or who best would want your product? That profile needs to be built. Okay, so basically, you know already who would fall in to that kind of criteria. Then you identify who they are, and then you target them. Okay? Then you realize how many of your customers come from specific geographical areas via analytics software like Google Analytics. So you know this would be the best persona, and you get the customers already, and then you localize to your location. There's no point targeting somebody, like for your instance, there's no point targeting somebody in Bandung when your store is in Jakarta, for instance. That makes complete sense, right? So this combination of essential data determines who to target in which location for your geomarketing strategy. Okay. Target the right location. It's also essential to focus on the right location once identified. Use what we call focal clustering to get even richer data on what audience are looking at, so you can target market even more finely to their preference and interest. So this is micro targeting. You don't waste your spend or ad spend on larger behavioral sense. Very specific, very targeted, would yield better results, and your spend would be much justified. For example, if you know that a customer has visited a particular location multiple times, then highlight a deal specific to that location. At the same time, you can determine which location to exclude. So you already know this particular customer has walked into this particular store multiple times, right? So you target that particular customer when you know by historical data they're going to come on a particular day, on a particular time, and you exclude every other location because you know there's not enough traffic over there. That's the whole idea. Okay, you set your goals beforehand. Very important. It's also essential to set practical goals. Most marketers tend to, everybody loves a fantastic campaign and result, but you have to be practical. What can be achieved given all the circumstances? Okay, to achieve by geo-targeting your marketing. Typical marketing goals related to local marketing includes getting more sales from a particular locality. What is the max increase of sales you can get from a particular store, right? Increasing brand awareness within the region. So this is a bigger radius, regional, right? Successfully promoting a local or regional event to increase sign-up, subscription, attendees. So this is more event-based promo or campaign. Getting more traffic from a certain geographical area, so maybe a district or maybe a state, right? Improving lead generation from a town, city, or state. So you start from a town, you expand to city, then you go to state, not the other way around. Optionally, you may also want to target new customers, launch new products and services, or build a presence in new market. This is more GTM, go to market. Okay? Specific objectives enables better success metric measurement for your campaign. The biggest problem marketers have today is ROI, or measurement for your ROI. You cannot be guessing. That's the failure of marketing. You spend $1 million ringgit or $1 million, then you get maybe 1,000 new customers who makes 500 new sales. How do you justify your 1 million? You can't. It's a guessing game, which is very, very bad. So attribution from all this data justifies your spend on your ads. Okay. Optimize content for local marketing. Next, make sure your website or content are set up for local marketing. Localize it to your area or your vicinity. So you can use either schema markup, you all know, on relevant local business pages. Okay, ensuring you have business listings on Google, Facebook, and elsewhere. Listings is very, very important. Optimizing your site for local SEO, localized SEO, higher yield, higher targeting. This will make it easier to use a range of geolocation marketing methods such as Facebook, geo-targeting, AdWords geo-targeting, right? So you don't target people who are not within your reach, which would be a waste. If you leave it to AdWords or Facebook to do it, they will target everybody around it, mostly even outside of the radius as normality. And this would be a complete waste of your marketing spend. So you can also use this data to create local landing pages, a destination for consumers in a particular area. So you have 5 stores in Greater Jakarta itself, but Greater Jakarta is huge, right? So you specifically target a particular location itself within the radius. So let's say 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers from that store, and that's it. Nothing beyond that. Another store, same, better results because people are tend to walk into your store easier because it's very nearby. Time your campaigns. So when you have location data and start to use these patterns, to see these patterns, you can time campaigns at the right time to get audience to take action. So you historically you already know what is the time these people walk in to your stores or visits your store on a daily basis. So you already have a pattern, you already know. So time your campaigns to suit this timeline. So if you know people normally walk into your coffee shop at 4 p.m., no point in doing a campaign at 11 a.m. It's complete hit and miss, right? For instance, yeah, there's no point in showing promos for breakfast deals when people have already eaten. So you show breakfast deals at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, completely disregards the whole idea, right? In contrast, if you know that certain users are in a specific area at lunchtime, then it's perfect moment. You know they're nearby, you push them a lunch deal during lunch hour, bang, better take up rate, right? So timing geo-marketing campaigns make them even more relevant. And relevance drives interest in sales. Okay, get personal. By now, most marketers know about the benefits of personalized marketing. So historical data actually shows that 75% of consumers are more likely to buy when offers are personalized based on their past action. So based on the sites they visited, based on their search, based on their purchases before. You target these customers based on what they've already actioned before. 75% of them love it because it's directly targeting to what they like and interested in and intended to do. So that's why personalization is one of the best ways to encourage action. Beyond using people's names with geomarketing, you can personalize campaigns based on where people are, what's the weather, what they've seen before, and much more. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Logan, for sharing with us an
Hope I'm good.
insightful presentation. Okay, yeah. So maybe we already have several questions on the Q&A box, but before we move to the questions from our participants today, I have several questions for you regarding our today's topic. So yeah,
Okay.
actually, when we talk about your marketing, this is something that
Mhm.
um, maybe for who doesn't learn about these things. I mean, it's something that they don't aware it's happening around them. So how to ensure that your marketing message, in this case, the geomarketing message isn't labeled as spam by your customer. For example, when you are going to some mall, sometimes you're getting this kind of notifications or push notif, like you said, from the mall or from the store that offering a promo. How to ensure that this how to ensure that this marketing message that you try to push to your customer doesn't get labeled as a spam by your consumer.
Okay, this is actually quite simple. You connect the right customer with the right message and offer. So,
Okay.
for instance, I'm a bachelor, middle-aged professional. There's no point pushing an ad for diapers to me, as
Yeah.
example. So I would say this is spam because it doesn't relate to me at all. That's the whole idea. You understand who your ideal customer are. When you know them, they are within your vicinity, you send something that relates to them, or they've already have intent to purchase. Then it wouldn't be a spam.
Okay. So actually, how do you do it? Is it in your marketing? Is there any tools that you can like automated marketing tools that you can set so when there is this kind of personality came to nearby the your store, then um, the system automatically recognize it and send to him or her the marketing message. Is there any tools or how do actually it works?
There's two parts to this. Um,
Hmm.
The expensive part is when you gain the services of a location intelligence company. So
I
they
see.
already have the data, they already know who the customers are, they have already verticals and profiles. You want to do a campaign, you go to them, this is what my campaign is, this is my ideal customers that I want, they will push it to you. So this is the expensive version of it. The more economical version of it is you yourself have an app. It could be a loyalty app, it could be anything, but relates to your business. So you get people to download this app, it's on their phone. You could push your message through this app to them.
I see.
When you push is when they walk into your vicinity. So you have a beacon. You put a beacon on your store, you have an app. Well, use this app, you know who they are. When they walk in, your beacon triggers, it will push the promo to them. There's two ways of looking at it. So there's the expensive version and the much cheaper version.
Okay, that's interesting. So actually, there's two ways pushing the marketing message using the geomarketing technique.
As if
So
organically, or you do, or you get somebody else to do it for you.
okay, yeah. So actually, there's let's say there's a company that providing this kind of services, right?
Yes.
Okay. So from your experience, which one that yeah, yeah, let's say for the small medium business, right? Which one that will works better in terms of getting tractions for new customer, let's say, not for those who already buy the, I have to attract a new customer.
For SME, I would definitely say do it organic, do it yourself.
Okay.
Because getting location intelligence company is fantastic because they've already have the data, right? The user data and whatnot, but they're very, very expensive. And secondly, using them is good, but you don't get the data back. You don't own the data is theirs. If you do it organically on your own, like starting an app today you can do it under 10,000 ringgit actually, a proper app, proper loyalty platform, right? Organically, you push acquisition to this app. Every time people walk in, you ask them to download for an offer, they'll do it. People are more for deals today. So this data is 100% organically yours. It's first party data, you call it. And then put a beacon is so much cheaper and you can keep on using and expanding because you already have the first party data. So that would be a recommendation, I would say, rather than going to a company. If you're a big, you have like 10, 15 outlets, then yeah, maybe you can go to a company. Otherwise, do it on yourself.
Okay. So yeah, what needs to be considered is that you can have the data on your own, right? I mean, you can
Yeah, you
save
own the
the
data.
data for yourself. Okay. So okay, I think we can move to the first questions from our participants today. So it's actually from anonymous attendee. He or she asked that does COVID affect your methodology in doing geomarketing? Yeah, since we are all now stay at home, right? It's pretty interesting. So how does it affect?
Very much affects, of course, because there's no physical movement, very less physical movement going to the store. But depends where you're at. So certain countries they have restriction in movement. Certain countries they are not that strict, or they have hours to do it. So it's either very high yield or very low yield, depending where you're at. But it still helps. It still works. The methodology, yes, definitely. It just depends where you're at.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
just to
when
add,
we, yeah,
just to add, sorry. Offers work so much better during this period. We have the data to agree with that actually. People are really looking for deals because um, people are not getting paid. So to put it bluntly, so a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are taking pay cuts and whatnot. So deal hunters or deal hunting is huge now. So pretty much, if you offer something to the right person, the take-up rate is much more higher. Yes. Yeah.
all right. Thank you, Logan, for the answer.
Yeah.
Hopefully it could
Answer.
answer this anonymous attendee question. Yeah. So all right, we move to another questions. Okay, I think this one from Billy O. Yeah, hey, thank you for your presentation. I joined the class late and I don't know that much about your marketing, but I'm quite interested in it. Can you recommend any tools that are good for beginners like me? Thanks. So yeah, what tools that can be utilized for using this?
Same as what I've explained. You can utilize an app, a beacon, and then you connect it the data to either Google Analytics and use it to push your ads via AdWords or Facebook. That's pretty much the tools that you have to do it organically.
Okay, maybe you have some recommendation tools that you can recommend to our audience. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah,
much what I
what
explained.
tools that usually can do.
These are the tools that you have presently to do things organically. You need an app, you need a website, you need a beacon. This works the best case scenario. These three tools will help you acquire the data, then for you to push. So that's the whole idea. With these tools, you can map out, you know who they are, where they're at, where they're going, and you target straight to them. These are the basic tools that you require. Yes.
I see. So basically, you need to build some kind of product. I mean, build some kind of applications on your own
Yeah. Track. Yes.
to okay. So yeah. From your experience, how long? I mean, um, like you said, it's below 10,000 ringgit, right, to make your own
Yeah.
tools, right?
Valuable. Yes.
Yeah. So actually so for BLO, you need to consider that actually you can bring or build your own apps first, then connect it to another analytics or maybe some kind of provider such as Facebook ads, maybe Logan, that can target it. Um,
You have basically you have the app and you have the beacon, right? So the
yeah.
app is for you, for people, you acquire your customers and whatnot. So you know how many customers you have, what they've purchased before, when they come, how many times they visit. So all these information are within the app itself. So you know to whom you want to push because they're already on your app. When to push depends. The best way to push it is when they're within the vicinity. So you're doing an offer and you know they're within the radius of your shop, is when you push it because your beacon is already detecting that they're nearby. That's the best case scenario. This works best for retail. If non-retail, I would say do in-app or push notifications to them when they're doing. So when they've already made their purchase before or when they've already visited your app, you know this is the time that they're active, you push it to them then. So that's the idea. I hope I've answered.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Logan. So yeah, if Billy still have another follow-up question, just write it down on the Q&A box below. We'll answer it. Okay. So we have from Admiral. So yeah, hello Logan. Thank you for sharing with me. I think we answered from Tia.
Yeah.
Hey Logan, with people getting more aware of data privacy, do you think that it will cause a big problem to geomarketing, especially with the release of Social Dilemma movie? I think these movies change how we perceive or how we look on data
Yes.
privacy, right? Especially in geomarketing, because on that movie, because I've watched it also, uh, like Google, Facebooks are being accused of stealing the data from the consumers, target the doing the geomapping and sell the data to the other companies that want to use it. So yeah, is it gonna change the games on geomarketing?
To be extremely honest, I don't think so. Why?
Right.
It's because as much as whether you like it or you don't like it, this is the new norm. This is how things are going to be. So there's no point fighting it. You embrace it, but embrace it more practically to you. So if you get spam, yeah, then you spam it. You say this is spam. It doesn't relate. But if it benefits you, so let's say you, for instance, you buy um, milk every day or every other day, a particular brand. So this is your behavior. Every 2 days you buy a gallon of milk, for instance. And when the supplier or the shop that normally sells you, or somebody else who sells the same milk, pushes an offer to you, it benefits you because it's something you're already going to buy anyway. So that's how you should see how it benefits you. Spam, I completely agree, is spam. But if something benefits you, then you should take it up.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, basically because it's already around us and
Yeah.
something that really match with our needs.
And
So we
fight it.
can run.
You rather just
Yeah.
embrace it.
Okay. Thank you, Logan, for the answer. So hopefully it could answer your question, Tia, regarding your maybe this is one of her was it curiosity or maybe his concern because he wants to try to apply the geomarketing, but
And
after the social dilemma movie.
just to add, Radila, I believe your data privacy settings are extremely important. Most people don't really um, put more thought into this. For instance, when you download something or whatnot, read the fine fonts properly, read it proper. If you agree, then allow. Don't just allow for the sake of allowing. Because once you've already allowed and then the third party is taking your data and using it, then you can't actually complain. You can restrict to the extent how much of data you want to give away and what also, and to whom you want to give away. There's no point giving it universally to everybody and then complain people are spamming you. So the onus is also on you, how you control how much data you give away. Sorry.
I see. Yeah, I agree with that. Many of us, when downloading something or installing some apps, we don't ever read about the term and conditions. We just, if there's a notification, allow or block, we tend to
Yeah,
pick the
exactly.
one, the fastest one with allow, without understanding what will be the consequences that come from it. So yeah, Logan. So actually, have this kind of follow-up questions. Um, are there any ethics code when you are trying to pushing or trying to using the geomarketing techniques?
Oh yeah. Basically, you don't spam. Number one, as again. Two, you don't spray and pray. Spray and pray
Okay,
means you push it to everybody and hope somebody clicks and somebody buys. That also comes under spam because the probability of your ad or your promo reaching somebody who doesn't relate to it is so much higher. So the best idea of geomarketing is first, again, realize who your customers are and who you want to target based on historical data and profiling. And then you push it to them. So it should be a win-win situation. You're pushing something to somebody who intends to buy it or has bought it before, or who somebody who likes the product or is looking for the product. So it has to be win-win. Is willing buyer, willing seller ideology. No point spamming and no point selling the data to somebody else also. That's illegal. You can't sell the data. You can share based on what you're pushing. You can't sell actually.
okay,
That's PDPA, right? So that's the
okay.
ethic.
So basically, yeah. Okay, right. So yeah, um, just curious, just out of my curiosity, is there any law in your country or in Malaysia that already kind of settling down this this policy of data, I mean, sending the geomarketing message or the data about data privacy? It's something because geomarketing is really close. I mean, have really had a great connection, right, with data privacy and so on.
Yeah, of course, you have PDPA. You have the PDPA Act that controls
Okay,
how your data is shared and utilized for marketing purposes,
I
especially.
see.
No names, like the data that I'm talking about here, even the profiling is done. There's no name. I don't have, like, for instance, I don't have your name on your profile. I have a ID number. So the name is always anonymous.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there must be also the regulations that rules on how the company or yeah the company using the data, right?
Correct.
Okay. So thank you, Logan, for the answer, of the answer, and also make it more clear for yeah for Tia regarding her questions about the social dilemma movie. So we're moving to the next questions from the anonymous attendee. So yeah, hi Logan. Thank you for the presentations. Got a lot of new insight here. So yeah, what tools that you recommend for us to create a comprehensive analysis to curate the audiences? And maybe yeah,
I think it's clear in the deck how you curate.
yeah,
So again, it's profiling. You have to first acquire all the data that is required to complete a customer profile. Also includes locality. So you need to know who they are, what the brands they buy, or what's the brands they like, what the devices they use, their demographics, the sex, the age, where they live, where they play, where they eat. All this information is required to curate a proper comprehensive audience profile. Yep.
okay. So I think the company that these anonymous attendees work in right now, I think needs to hire some kind of data analyst. Do you think it is important to hire a data analyst to so you can get a great the correct audience profiling, or we can all learn to profiling this audience by ourselves to
Normally,
process a big data.
normally companies tend to have a DMP, a data management platform. They build their own or they acquire it from Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon as in AWS, yeah. And they start acquiring all this data, they pull all this data. But acquiring data is easy, but slicing and dicing, what we call it in the industry, is the hardest part. So the analytics, you need human touch there. We are not that advanced in AI for completely leaving it to the system to do it. This is my personal view. So you still need somebody, a human being there to analyze this data after whatever the system gives back to you. So there's two ways. It's a combination of both.
I see. Okay. So the most important thing is the touch of the analyzing from humans, not only not only the compiling of the data, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for your answers. Hope that answer your questions, anonymous attendee. So next we're moving to Andrea Prita questions. How to develop a maturity model for geomarketing?
How to develop a maturity model for geomarketing? It's as what I've explained. You have to acquire, build a buyer persona, then build a profile and identify whether they are your ideal customer profile or not. Then you start targeting and you segmentize and then you target. That's the entire flow of it.
Okay.
For instance,
Yeah.
a good example is that just because somebody walked into your store once doesn't mean they would be your ideal customer profile. You need to first curate, everything is required. So you already have an ICP, you call it ideal customer profile, right? And then you match physically to whoever is walking in. And then you decide whether you want to push this to them or not. That's the whole idea.
Okay. Right. So basically that's the answer from Logan. Hope that answer your question, Andrea Prita, regarding, yeah, basically it's all been taught by Logan. First is creating profiling, then you start analyzing who's your audience, and then you push the um, marketing message that you want to them. So yeah, Logan, the next questions, maybe before we move to another questions, I would like to ask you some questions as well. So during this whole class, you talk about beacon, but maybe people in here still doesn't understand how the beacon works and what's beacon actually. So can you explain more or elaborate more how the beacon works, and yeah, how effective is it to use for the marketing type?
A beacon is a small plasticky device. It's square. It's very tiny. It's the size of a coaster, right? Very small. It's battery operated. It's two AAA batteries, I think, and the battery life is, I think, is about 5 years, if I'm not wrong. So it's not a problem. You can put it up the wall somewhere in your store, and it lasts pretty much for 5 years. Now, this device is actually a mobile tracking device, which is connected to your app.
Okay.
So you have a loyalty platform on app, whatever, on the phone. When you are in the proximity of your store, the user with the phone, it detects. So it
Mhm.
knows your customer is nearby your store for it to
Okay.
push a message to them. That's
All
the whole
right.
idea of a beacon.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, from the deck that I from your deck, is it using Bluetooth connections or?
So that's the plus and minus points. It
Yeah.
only works on Bluetooth. So Bluetooth has to be on the user's phone. Otherwise, you won't detect.
I see. All right, all right. So yeah. So the company needs to ensure, or your store needs to ensure that um, targeting the audience that Bluetooth that turn on their
So
Bluetooth on the
depends on
phone,
locality. Like
right?
for Malaysia, mostly people have it on. So it depends where you're at.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Cool. So yeah, because I'm pretty curious because this is something really new maybe for me and also for some of us regarding the beacon and how it works. And actually, can beacon be? I mean, I don't know in Indonesia, but in Malaysia it can be purchased. You can buy beacon
Oh yeah, you can.
um freely, or there is some provider who provide it to the company?
Not really. Before, yeah, we had a particular supplier from US that we bought it from, but now we can actually get it online.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite straightforward.
Okay.
And to
So
you, majority of shopping malls in Jakarta are beaconized.
yeah, yeah. No wonder, because no wonder that I always receive some kind of promo.
Yeah, I was
Some
involved in the
promo.
project, so I remember.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Logan. Next, move to the next questions. Hi, Logan. Can we do geomarketing in an affordable way? How to do it? I mean, maybe is trying to get maybe 10,000 ringgit for him or her still
Yeah,
sounds quite expensive for a medium business. So is there any way that
but
you can do this geomarketing in an affordable way,
to be honest,
simple way?
affordable is subjective.
Yeah.
Affordable to you, what's affordable to me or somebody else is very subjective. It's not the same. But on an SME level, I would say you start with Facebook analytics, you start with Google Analytics. From there, you grow into an app, and then you grow into location intelligence. So you can basically track it or grow this idea gradually based on what you can afford. That's the best way possible, I believe. Use whatever tools available today, and then increase the tools as it gets affordable to you.
Okay. So yeah, actually there's a lot of way to starting your marketing. Like Logan said, you can start by using the Google Analytics to targeting the right audience for your small business.
Right audience,
Okay,
right time.
thank you. Yeah. Okay, Logan. So from I have another questions as well. So how geomarketing affect the retentions of your customer? I mean the I mean, is it an ideal? Which one would be the ideal scenario for using geomarketing to require new customer or to retain the customer, or it can both it can work both ways.
Definitely both. Obviously, there's two separate campaigns here. Like you have the acquisition campaign and the retention campaign. Uh, Acquisition normally is 5x more expensive than retention, pretty much. So it depends what campaign you're doing. Much more
Yeah.
expensive to do acquisition because it's new. You have to really push the right message and keep on pushing the right ad and whatnot. That's actually quite costly. Once you've already have them, then the idea is to retain. So geomarketing works both ways. You can use it to find out where and who your customers are. You can also use it to retain by pushing the right message to keep it interesting for them, for your existing customers. So there's both ways.
Okay, so both ways, but the differentiation would be on the budget that you need to provide, right? Because like what you said, acquiring customer is will cost you more money, time on. Okay, so yeah, so for the questions, so about that. Okay, thank you, Logan. And we have another questions from Admiral. I believe this will be the last questions from the session. So yeah, hello Logan. Thank you for sharing with us. Is it okay if we have different message to our audience based on the different locations they are? That's the first question. In my opinion, doesn't it makes our brand strategy become inconsistent on delivering the message to our audience? Okay.
Okay, very good question actually. Now, when you say location, it could be different region, it could be different areas, it could be different district, depending. It doesn't make the branding strategy inconsistent because the message is the same. It's probably the lingo that changes. So, for instance, in Malaysia, you have multiple states, and each state have a different dialect. Same goes to Indonesia. So, what happens here is that I want to sell something. So, the message would say, get this product for 20% off at your nearest store, for instance. This is one way of saying it. You can also say, fret not, walk in and get this for this price, kind of thing. So it depends where is the locality of your audience that you're trying to reach, and the lingo changes accordingly. So that doesn't change, that doesn't make the marketing strategy inconsistent. It's actually consistent, but it's very personalized, which makes better conversion.
Oh, I see. Okay. So yeah, for Admiral, so basically what from what I understand from what Logan explained is that it yeah, instead of making our communication strategy becoming consistent, it's making our communication strategy more personal or touch more personal because we're using the localized content to target them. So yeah, regarding the localized content, I mean, if we're talking about geomarketing, what's my main still now is that it's only about promo, it's only about pushing some ads using the loyalty program. So is there any way, Logan, to using this geomarketing, for example, to create a soft selling campaign, or maybe to push, yeah, to storytelling your brand using the geomarketing
Yeah,
campaign? And do you have any examples on this kind of case?
yeah, definitely. Geomarketing is basically, as I what I've explained earlier so far, is targeting people, the right people at the right location. That's the whole idea. So it can be used for any means because it's purely a tool to disseminate the message. So you have a message, it could be a promo, it could be just information, it could be a story, it could be anything. But you reach the right people at the right time at the right location. That's the whole benefit of geomarketing. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, actually maybe you can give some examples of yeah pushing the this kind of soft selling message to the audience. I mean like storytelling or
For
because
instance,
yeah
for instance, I believe right now, even your local government, they send you WhatsApp message or SMSs regarding COVID, right?
yeah
So
yeah
basically, this is geomarketing. They localize the message based on location.
I see.
For example, because
Okay,
let's say Greater Jakarta has restricted movement completely, so it completely quarantine off. So that message only will go to somebody who's within Greater Jakarta. That's your marketing. That message won't go to somebody in Bandung.
I see. Okay. So yeah, actually it's really we've already experienced digital marketing without we're
Yeah,
knowing about it before.
exactly.
So okay. So yeah, guys, we still have 5 more minutes. So if you guys still have any more questions, just kindly write down on the Q&A box below.
I really hope I've.
So yeah, regarding the yeah, Rogan, I have one more question. Okay. So what kind of metrics that we can use? For example, we start to create a geo marketing campaign. I mean, we start to implement geo marketing in our campaign. What kind of business metrics or campaign metrics that we can use um, to analyze the success rate of our campaigns using the geo marketing technique?
Well, that depends on your campaign objective, right? So let's say your campaign objective is purely footfall. You can measure based on number of people who've already seen your message and walked into your store. So that's footfall.
I see.
So you can see intent, whether they clicked on it. That's one metrics. Then you can see whether you've converted them to make a transaction. So it's multiple versions depending on what is the objective for your campaign. I'll give you
Okay.
best
So it's
case.
like again to
One best case scenario would be the entire journey for one particular
I
user.
see.
So you put an ad, you have a billboard, you have a radio ad, you have a TV ad, you have a mobile ad, and a website ad, for instance. You can measure the entire journey. How many ads on which platform did one particular user engaged on up to the time he or she made the purchase? So that's the entire journey. You can also measure that.
Okay. Okay, I think that's an interesting one, like measuring the whole customer journey to
Yeah,
understand what channels that need to be improved, need to be optimized, right?
because even today you can measure if somebody actually looked at a billboard on the highway. You can.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think we have the questions more. So yeah, maybe to close the class, Logan, once again, thank you for answering all of the questions from our participants, and also thank you for the presentations. I would like to invite you to give conclusions and also to give a closing statement, but hold it for a moment because I will share a little bit information to our participants first.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Right. Guys can see my screens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just want to give you guys a reminder that the speaker slides decks will be sent to your email after filling on the feedback form. So after this, you will get directed to the feedback form. And yeah, we hope that you guys can fill in on the feedback form so we can understand you to uh, providing you a better learning experience for our next class. So yeah, you guys can also become one of our experts to step up your career by sharing your experience with all of us. So if you want to promote yourself, I mean, to propose yourself, or maybe you have someone or your superior that you think will be suitable to share their expertise and also their experience with us, just reach out to us on expertclass.glints.com/speaker-program. Then after that, we'll contact you accordingly. And we also have several promo. This is a subscription plan, so you guys can pay less to learn more. So you guys can get a discount up until 20% to join every Glint Expert class. And this is also campaigns that are currently running for you guys that stay in Indonesia. We have a 40% discount for all of the class. So you guys can use the promo code #SatuBangsa. And it's only valid for every purchases that you guys do on our website on glints.com. And also only valid until 27 October 2020. So yeah, it's the upcoming sessions. We have crafting creative concept for your brand visual. We have Axel Wijaya as our speakers. He is the creative lead at Google. The class will be happening in the next 2 weeks. It's Saturday, 7 November 2020, start at 10 a.m. And we also have a class with Kimberly Subianto. He's the senior associate at Boston Consulting Group, or BCG. With the topic is thriving in career with analytical and critical thinking, that will be started at Saturday, 14 November 2020. And we also have special guests here. We have developing an effective marketing strategy in the current era class with David Fu, who is the Associate Director APAC and EMEA Commercial Strategy at TripAdvisor. The class will be held on Monday, 16 November 2020, start at 7 p.m. until 8:30 at GMT plus 7. And the last one is we have the winning strategy for business negotiations with Griselda Wijaya, the partnership manager APEC at 10 Lifestyle Group, where the class will be happening on Monday, 23rd November 2020, start at 7 p.m. until 8:30 at GMT plus 7. So yeah, I think that's a little bit of information that I want to share with you guys. Before you leave the class, maybe I will invite Logan to make a conclusions, and also closing statement for all of our participants today.
Okay, so guys, first of all, thank you so much for joining, and thanks to Clint and Padilla for inviting me. As a conclusion, I would say I would basically recommend you to try geomarketing. Reason given is that it's the catalyst that completes your marketing strategy, I would say. So rather than losing customers who are not related to your product or service, and acquiring the right target market that would actually have probability of making purchase much more higher, and location based, of course. So it's actually important to gel this together. This is the missing part of a successful marketing campaign. So targeting the right profile or the right users at the right time at the right location equates to better or higher sales. So that's what you need. So rather than spending money and wasting it on marketing because you're targeting the wrong people at the wrong time or the wrong location, save on your ad spend by targeting the right people and getting higher yields of sales. That's the whole idea of your marketing. And of course, it sounds complicated or it sounds expensive, but as I explained, it's a gradual increase of tools that you use based on your affordability. Everybody can use it. It's available. You just have to understand it and utilize it best. Okay.
Right. And it's easy to it's easy to implement it, right, Logan?
Yeah.
It sounds hard at the first, but
I wouldn't say it's
you have
easy,
to try it.
but it's learnable. Yes.
Yes, it's learnable. That's the point of the class. So even though it's not an easy one, but you can learn, and yeah, to make your marketing efforts more, yeah, more targeted, and also it will make your marketing efforts more effective and efficient in some way. So yeah, thank you, Logan, once again for the sharing sessions. What an insightful sessions that we had with you and this morning. And thank you guys for all joining Glints Expert Class on today's sessions. Hopefully you guys can get some actionable new insights from what we've discussed today. So if you guys still have any questions, can they connect with you on LinkedIn, or maybe is there
Yeah.
any way to connect with you?
LinkedIn is fine. You can find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you guys, you can find Logan on LinkedIn and just say that you are the participant from today's class, and you
Yes, please.
can directly discuss with him regarding today's topic. So thank you once again, Logan. It's really our pleasure to have you in our sessions, and thank you for all of you guys who already attend this class. So yeah, I'll see you guys again in our next class. And stay safe, stay healthy, and bye bye.
Stay
Thank
safe,
you,
guys.
Logan. Have a great weekend, all.
You too. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good weekend.